Hey folks, I'm in Georgia. That's Lake Allatoona down there at the bottom of the hill. We're actually at a cabin getting ready to start the American Canoe Association certification class. That's going to have a kayak fishing endorsement, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of insight along the way. I'm going to try not be intrusive to the process of the class that I'm certifying for, with some pretty notable folks in the kayak fishing industry. We have people who are kayak manufacturers, work for accessory companies, including myself, and some really notable tournament anglers here as well. But let's take a moment and just meet our main instructor, Francesca. She's going to give us a quick overview of what this is all about. So we're getting ready to start. Francesca's here with, you're getting all your training materials ready for us.
Yes, I am.
Give me an overview of who you are and what this class is.
So I am an ACA L4 whitewater IT instructor trainer. So today we're going to do, this is an L1 essentials of kayaking class. So we're just, it's an instructor course. So what we're going to do today is pretty much get them started on teaching them how to teaching the fundamentals of paddle strokes and some on-water maneuvers, and then which will progress on to tomorrow where they will start teaching us. Thinkers, analytical people, they're left-brain people. They're going to ask the why, ask a lot of questions. 80% of kayaking products here.
So we're just starting the in-water portion of it for day one. Maybe some dreams.
I hate those front end foods.
Good morning,
Dustin, can you unzip me?
They're always watching you. You may not be paying attention, but they are always watching what you're doing. So make sure that you practice 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 points of contact. 2, 3 points of contact. There's the forward stroke.
So we've gone over a lot of the paddling technique, and now everyone gets to be videoed. So I'm going to video them. We get to watch their paddling form a little bit later. I think I'm going last because I'm recording.
So the students are about to demo the strokes that they learned this morning. We're going to have each of them do the forward stroke, the back stroke, and their sweeps and their draw strokes. We're going to record them, and then tonight we're going to watch them to have peer review so they can start developing their critical eye.
You're good. Thank you for going first.
Easiest way is to do what? If I was here and the water was over my head and I fell out, what am I? I'm gonna go to the bank more than likely, right? I'm probably gonna swim to the bank, have somebody grab my boat and get it to me. That's the simplest. But if you're too far away from shore, or there's another reason you can't get to shore, then you need to know how to get back.
You got somebody with you in this situation?
We'll do it both ways. So you're unassisted and assisted. The easiest unassisted way is the way that Jeff did earlier, that most of you guys have probably done before, where you get parallel to the boat, you get perpendicular to the boat, get your tail end up, kick your legs, pull yourself across, and roll over. So we'll try those, we'll practice those. It's an assisted rescue, and as the assist, my bow goes to her stern. I'm going to take my paddle and her paddle if I have them and just put them in between us. They're going to float for a little bit. She's going to get up next to the boat. I am going to lean over and secure the boat. She's going to take her outside leg and hook her heel over the keel of the boat. And she's going to straighten her leg and roll towards me, continue to roll towards me, continue to roll, continue to roll, continue to roll. So she's going to do what everybody wants to do. That's what everybody wants to do. But if you just continue to roll, 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 your butt is right where it needs to be. But what everybody wants to do is once they get halfway up, they want to do what she just did. If you're not nimble in boats, you go right back in the drink. So I'm actually glad you did that, because that is the number one, when you teach, that is the number one thing they're going to want to do.
Make sure everything's up to
Hey, Dustin.
Yep, it's cold.
Yeah. Good job, man. Good job.
So we've done, what, about a day and a half of instruction. Joff Luckett is the co-instructor here for this class, but you were the first to earn the Kayak Fishing Endorsement, right?
Yes.
Can you explain what that is?
So when I got certified to be an instructor, and then I went for an extra day and got certified to do kayak fishing instruction.
Right.
Under an older curriculum, and then just through time and change, the curriculum was rewritten. Several of us got together and rewrote the curriculum to make it what it is now.
Right. But it is something that attaches to, to any instructor certification. Like, it can be attached to.
Yeah, so it's an add-on certification. So you have to be certified to either teach paddling instruction,
right,
on rivers, on bays or open lakes, or also through SUP, stand-up paddleboards.
That'd be an interesting one, I think, to have added the kayak fishing endorsement to SUP. I think especially.
Yes, and that's becoming
down in like Florida, where there's a lot of.
It's becoming a lot more popular.
Yeah.
SUPs in general are more popular, but even fishing off of them is growing too.
I know there's a lot of us in this class that are definitely going to level up to the the river, the whitewater version of it. And what we're getting on this is sort of a base level where we can teach on lakes and protected water. We'll take a later class so that we can do class 1 or class 2 whitewater.
Yeah, so this is the entry level, and then that's like the next step.
Cool. So, and then we got one more day tomorrow. What are we doing?
So the first 2 days has been all paddling instruction,
Right.
and then tomorrow's going to be all fishing based,
Gotcha.
and how it relates to a lot of the stuff we've already learned, but how that changes when you add fishing gear and all
Gotcha.
the other fishing items,
All right.
entanglements and such.
And then this afternoon we're doing a little bit of we're be in the water a little bit. Doing
Yeah, so this afternoon
rescue.
is re-entry, like deep water re-entry and
Yep.
self-rescue, and how to get back in when you fall out.
Cool.
Certification, you have to do your strokes and your deep water re-entry checkouts in a sit-in boat. If you're not, but you don't have to, you can stick to a sit on top if you so choose to. That just means that you only can teach on sit on top. When you get to sit in, you can teach sit in boat and sit on top for outboard. It is your choice, up to your discretion. Do
Are you checking us right? Are we being tested on boat?
So long, you can come back to it.
Damn, he's flying!
What do you guys think of the class so far? What have you been your big takeaways?
I guess the biggest takeaways is for me, even more than a decade in paddling, is learning things that I haven't been doing right over the years. Reversing the cup on my paddle for a reverse stroke, things like that. Learning the proper ways to do things, I think, helps a lot.
Right?
What do you think, Russ?
Yeah, I agree. Well, the same thing with me, and even though I've always done I've learned some new strokes too. But as far as the forward stroke, the back stroke, the forward and back sweep, those are all strokes that I've done. But to learn the proper technique, the hand placement, where that top hand should be coming across your face, and then also doing the different side strokes, sweep. The sculling draw and the slicing draw are two new ones that I've never done before, and to learn those and just how to move your kayak horizontally like this without going forward or backward is pretty cool to learn how to do.
And Drew,
Drew,
give me something you've learned that really relates to helping you with fishing.
Well, the slicing draw is good because you can slice Russ's line when he catches a big one. You can just slice it and then.
Ninja style, baby.
I don't think, anyway, no, for fishing, I mean, honestly, it's mostly, for me, I preach this a lot in the classes I do, it's all just boat control, which helps you have better boat positioning, which helps you make the right cast and the right presentation, keeping your, bait in the strike zone longer, and honestly, it's a lot of, efficiency, saving your muscles and your energy for the cast and everything else to last all day long. So most people really don't do any of this stuff in the proper form, but man, once you learn it, it's not as hard as you think, not using as much energy as you might think.
And you can scream if you want to. Swimmer, you're okay.
I'm okay.
We got your boat.
Man, got water in my ear.
Find your hat. Don't worry about your boat. We got your boat, man.
We got you, dude.
All right, Drew, you got it? Just a little bit more.
Buddy, I'm going to keep as much water out as I can.
All right, flip it over.
Get you over the shore.
All right,
Start a hot
go ahead,
fire.
flip it over my way.
All right, here we go.
Wait, 1, 2.
We're going to start a hot fire. Get you warmed up, man.
Boats are so
All right,
much
look.
easier to do that with these.
There we go.
Let's get this down.
Oh God,
It's tough to work with little team things.
Yeah, I'm gonna argue.
I'm not arguing. I
won't die.
offered once. Who said no fine?
There's your yard sale, buddy.
As long as you got my phone. So you insert the blade. It's got a clip, and a string. You can use the float as an outrigger. You find a good spot on your boat. And the float's gonna, I don't know if you guys on that side can see. But the float's gonna keep the paddle above the water. Pick up, put your leg on it. Push. It gives you a brace up. Yeah. Alright, Drew, you gotta demonstrate next. Yeah, great. Then you just deflate it. And you're in your boat. And then if you're in the water, you can, which the highest one you can get your foot in and still get leverage to get yourself back up in the boat. But this creates what in your boat?
Well, it's a
Entanglement hazard. So you have to keep it stored a certain way. You have to, it has to be able to get to it. You know, like once you're in the water.
Putting it in like a small bag.
So Jeff had one rigged on his seat. Kept it there rigged. So he, you know, he knows where it is and get to it. It's out of the way. It's not entanglement because the way he's got it rigged. So that's actually a good way to do it.
It's just wrapped around the frame of the seat, and there's a little bit of a bungee here that keeps the loose end just snug in there. It's pretty quick to do.
For the really big fishing kayaks, so some of these guys aren't going to be able to turn them over. Without
So you can also use this
strap.
Exactly.
So basically, you go to the one side, attach it to the handle, and then
throw it over the top.
Go to the other side. Go to the other side.
Get on top of it and just it's like a sailboat. That's how they turn over sailboats.
Yeah.
So Jeff, someone watching this video might think, you know, we just did all this stuff in sit-in kayaks, and very few people that kayak fish, and you're a kayak angler, so you understand this, uses that. We all use the sit-on tops. Why is it important that we practice this with sit-in kayaks?
Well, especially for instructors, we need to be able to instruct in both crafts. But the skills kind of transfer depending on the boat, but it is a little bit of a different technique, you know, depending on what the cockpit looks like. So it's good for us to try both types.
Gotcha.
What do we call that if you go all in and only catching big fish?
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. Another one I like to say is hero or zero. Well, you can't be zeroing with your students. So the way that you do it, you gotta get them catching something, anything. And I went from big and aggressive.
I got it set up on side imaging right now. That way I can see outcome both sides of us. And it's set for about 30 yards. So like there's boulders in there. I'll actually go over and maybe drift a little closer, a little bit more on top of them.
Right.
If I need to, especially if they're deep. We're in 15, 16 foot of water right now. So with that being said, 15, 16 foot of water, sometimes you can drift over top of them and not really swim a whole lot. Or it gives you a chance to see what they are, and you can come back, and if there's fish on it, that's looks quality, you can come back and actually kind of focus in on them.
He's calm and I got eyes on him. I can talk to him. I can hold a conversation, right? What do I not like about it if he might be injured?
He's still in the water.
His head's in the forward.
So if I run into anything, his head is what's gonna run into something. That's not ideal, right? So I gotta be careful. Do not ever let them grab your gunnels.
I shouldn't have gone down the side.
Yeah, if you grab the gunnels, they put you at risk. Are you okay, swimmer?
I'm okay.
What do I like about this position?
He's safe and you're not going to run into him.
I'm not gonna run his head into anything, but I don't have eyes on him, right?
True.
He's still in the cold water. There's less drag on my boat, the way my boat is designed this way. Think about this position for the swimmer.
Take stress off of you.
In theory, it doesn't actually. There's actually more drag than when he had his feet up, but if he's cold, this keeps him warmer.
All right, we're wrapping up this, instructor certification class. What do you guys think? What was the best thing you took out of it?
The best thing for me, honestly, it was learning the proper form on some of the paddle strokes and the things that I thought I knew how to do, and actually I didn't know how to do them properly. So I'm going to be able to be more efficient, save more energy, and essentially catch more fish, which is what I'm hoping to do right now.
Cool.
So that was for me what it was.
All right, Dustin, what do you think?
I had just an absolutely great time here, and I took away a lot more knowledge on safety, being able to rig the boats, making sure everybody's safe on the water, and also the ability to educate and teach more anglers and kayakers.
Nice. Kevin, what do you think?
I think I learned some things that I didn't know, and then I learned terminology for some things I did know, which is going to help me to be able to communicate that better to other people. So I think that was huge, and then overall it was just a great time, man. Being around other anglers and learning together, and the time we spent, it was awesome.
Perfect. Wade, what's your favorite takeaway from the class, bud?
Oh my gosh! Aside from getting to spend an awesome 3-day weekend with some of the best people in our industry, learning. I like learning about this sport. This is my craft. I want to get better at it as best as I can be. So honing my skills, learning the proper terminology, the proper technique, so I can pass this along and help other people be safe.
Cool.
Hey Jeff, one last thing too is that we've forgotten, because we all fished for a long time, one thing I learned was how much I'd forgotten. That's the biggest thing, because if we're going to be teaching beginners, we actually need to be reminded of all the stuff that we'd forgotten. So now we have it laid out, with outlines and things we're going to follow when we teach this to you guys out there, and hopefully we're not going to forget those things that you really need to know that we've just do by instinct at this point.
I'm going to turn the camera to Andrea White here. She's going to let us know how people can find, these classes of the instructors that have earned the Kayak Angler Endorsement.
Well, obviously, if you're following these guys, you already know you can find announcements where they're teaching on all their social media. But you can also look on the ACA website. It's AmericanCanoe.org, and they keep a calendar of classes all over the country for how to get certified as an instructor or how to learn the skills classes for the public. I obviously am very fond of the classes we teach at Georgia River Network at garivers.org. But yeah, just keep an eye on these calendars and the social media sites for all these incredible anglers. They're going to have some great offerings.